Relax and get loose while I put you up on game. The Figure Booth with Josh and Nate. This that podcast for those in the know. Batman vs. Iron Man, how would it go? We talking one of a kind, collectibles. Mezco toys are respectable. It's unacceptable if it's not in the packaging. Nate don't take pics if you ain't rapping it. Nate's dirty tricks are always happening. But damn it, man, don't you be stressing. Round here we believe in plastic confessions. We trying to figure out the figures that's gonna stand the test of time. That G.I. Joe handmade hit me in the spine. There's perfection in the way that these toys are made. But I also wanna know, do I pick Wade or Slade? So this is where I come to kick it with the guys. The Figure Booth. Like, comment, and subscribe.
What is up, Toy Fam? Welcome back. You have made it to another episode of the Figure Booth. I am your host, Josh, aka Prime to the First.
Hey guys, I'm Nate, aka FigureFan_Nate, and you reached episode 33, which we're calling the Plastic Addiction.
That's 33? 34.
34, sorry.
33,
episode 34.
Yes.
Plastic Addiction.
The Plastic Addiction. And that's a little like clue to who our guest is, because we're doing another guest interview. We took a break, and I think we had to come back strong. But we had to get a guest out there. Like, we had to take a venture. We had to brainstorm. We had to search far and wide. We had to almost get some plane tickets, do some sightseeing.
Long distance
hookup.
The thing is, though, even this guy is long distance. I think a lot of people know who he is. He is extremely...
He's like a myth, a legend. If you say his name 3 times, he pops up in the chat, in the stream.
Right there.
You type his name 3 times, boom, he pops up. So it's almost like Beetlejuice. You got to be careful.
Yeah, but he's a huge supporter of the community. He's a guy that I see in every single live stream. He comments on a lot of people's posts. He's always sharing people's stuff. Yeah. I really appreciate his relationship that he has and just how supportive he is.
Yeah.
We'll reveal who it is. We have Plasti Adicto on the show with us today.
Welcome, Plasti.
What's up, guys? Thank you.
What's up, Plasti?
Thank you for that introduction. You have cracking me up like with mentioning my name. That was good.
You say Plasti 3 times, boop, he pops up.
Yeah,
there he is.
You got me there.
Yeah. But Plasti, you've been in the toy community for a long time. You've been a huge supporter of a lot of other channels out there, and you've had your own, history for a long time. So I just want to say up front that we appreciate all the support that you've given us since we started this podcast. You've been one of our biggest supporters from day one.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you, Plasti,
My
and we
pleasure.
wanted to make sure that we highlighted you in this episode and, spent some time with you, got to know you a little bit better.
No, it's my pleasure because go ahead.
I want to say we did some digging on you, Plasti, because Nate got some good stats, and I feel like even for myself, I think we have a good relationship. We talk a lot, but I didn't realize how much work and how much content you've provided out there for a lot of collectors out there. You want to share some of those stats with those listening or watching?
Ready to go.
Plasti's like, oh shit, what did they find?
Yeah. Ready to spread some information and start some beef, right? From the get-go.
Exactly.
Let's go.
That's right. He's ready.
Let's go.
Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, Plasti started on YouTube way back in August of 2014.
Yeah.
And which that was surprising to me. I mean, that's a long time, dude, that you've been around doing this. What, 7+ years? I don't know how long you've been on Instagram, but I think it's probably about the same time. You have got like 8,000 posts on Instagram. So you're posting a lot. And your first video was from October of 2016. You've got 16,000 subs on your channel, which is amazing. And you've got like almost 2.9 million views. So you're doing something right, Plasti.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
The stats speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have to ask, what made you want to start doing toy reviews? Like, where did you get the idea? Where did you this is something that I want to do?
It's gonna sound ironically, but save time because right before I started my channel, I was spending too much time on Facebook group like talking toys, to other guys who like I don't know, show me this, show me that, compare this, because I started like let's say my second phase of collecting like in 2014 when I came to Colombia. I was born in Venezuela, then I had to leave my country. We came back, we came to Colombia, and like we settled with that, and then I got hooked with some Revoltech Iron Man. That line was like, I don't remember the line. It was Yamaguchi, but no. It was Revoltech, but not Gucci.
It was Revoltech.
Before that. and I got into that line, and I got the like 11 or eight armor, and everybody in the community down here in Colombia wanted me to compare them to Marvel Legends, HP Ward, Figma, and all. So that's how I started like talking toys in Facebook. Then like a year later, like 2015, I got like too deep into it. So my buddies started like saying me, you should do reviews, you should like start your YouTube channel. I was no. I don't want to like spend 2 hours on a computer every day doing reviews like that. But then I thought like, okay, I'm doing a lot of time on Facebook, explaining, taking pictures to guys, like wanting to see how they look together, or things like that. So I did a little like digging. I talked to the guys like I followed the most on YouTube. One was Wade, the other one was Darius, the amazing, and the Devil 19. Those three guys were like my main go-to YouTube reviewer. So they gave me like pointers, but I asked Wade, like, Wade, did you like edit, or what do you do for editing? Do you edit in the computer? No, I do it in my tablet, on my iPad. Right. That was the spark I needed, because I didn't want to do anything in a computer, like, I don't know, regular editing. So I could take it on the tablet, on my iPad. And then from that point on, I started and I couldn't stop, because every time I get in, like, I love it. The aspect of the craft of making videos, reviewing figures, like my excuse to play with my toys, like in a regular basis. Yeah. And I loved it. So everything since then, like, I loved the creating content for people. Like, each of any view like I get, I appreciate it. Because those guys could be doing anything, but they chose to watch my video. And if they leave their comment, I make my task to respond them and answer the question if they have them. I don't know. I love the engagement I got from there, and I don't know. I don't want to say I became addicted, but I feel like it was appreciated, because when you put something out there and you see like there's people who appreciate it, like that's a good feeling, you know? Yeah. So that's part of, for me, of creating the content, and I got hooked on it. And that opened me so many doors from knowing people, other collectors, other YouTubers, people who have like a long experience collecting on doing videos, or other new collectors like want to get in the game. Like it's a doorstep. Like when you knock and it opens, it's another whole world for you. So I'm really appreciated for everybody who tunes in for my videos, even guys who doesn't speak English, because nowadays, like, I have like friends in the community that they do not speak Spanish, like you guys, and seeing any comment from you in my videos, it's like an honor. I'm really honored.
That's awesome, man. And it sounds like you were probably addressing maybe a gap of that kind of information for people that do speak Spanish, or they don't understand English, and there's a lot of like English speaking reviewers out there, but I'm not as educated with people that may be speaking Spanish and doing reviews like that. So it seems like you're kind of filling a void in the community that a lot of your followers probably really appreciate, not being able to get that content and not being able to maybe understand the content from an English reviewer. Now they have you to go to. Yes. And you're providing the top quality reviews, and you're kind of like that voice for that community that maybe doesn't get the limelight as much as it should, and doesn't have as much representation. So I can see why you probably get the draw and the following that you do, because it speaks for yourself. You got 16,000 followers on there. You're doing something right. You got a community of people that really appreciate that content that you're putting out there. So I think it's really cool, that you did that. And we're all plastic addicts at the end of the day. Yeah. And if you have something that can fuel that that addiction a little bit, and then make it feel like it's more value added. So it's not just you collecting plastic and having that collection. You're actually giving back to the community now. You're educating people on figures that are coming out. So I think it's reciprocal, and that's probably why you have the following that you do, because people appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. Like down here, there's like bigger channels than mine in terms of numbers, but I don't really pay too much attention because those are like another type of like say public, I don't do much Marvel Legends on my channel. I do Marvel Legends for my collection, but there's another guys around that do the whole wave right. when they hit Latin America, right? So I don't try to focus on that. On those one, I'm like, believe it or not, I'm knowing. I believe like in this Latin American community, like the Mezco guy go to, because I started with the line in 2015. I don't have all because I'm a collector before YouTuber, so there's some figures like I don't even like it, but I don't get it. So I review every figure I got from Mezco, and I think there's a lot of people like started way before me overall down here, because Mezco doesn't distribute their product to us. We have to get them from there. Yeah. So it started like low down here, like I don't know, like a year, 2 years and a half, when the Mezco 112 Light dropped. Like Latin America was like trying to caught up with it, and of course those previous releases were like too expensive by then. So they went to my videos and okay, this is the figure. Where can I found them? It was joyful to me. Like a year later, find a lot of those videos like catching on fire. But it was sad to me. Say no, you have to go to eBay and pay like 3 times, 4 times. Sometimes I don't want to answer this today. I'm gonna leave it for tomorrow, because he had that bittersweet like taste, no. But for a while, I was thinking like I'm gonna stop doing Mezco because it's getting too hard. By the time I get the figure in hand, too much people like maybe interested after that won't get it. Right. But then I realized like, okay, these people may want to spend hard cash on it, and maybe they want to see if it's worth it. So it's a afterlife market for me on the secondhand market. The secondhand market, like they need to know where they're spending their hard bucks on it. So I feel like I'm gonna go for it. And yeah, sometimes like there's a Mezco event, I do regular live streams for those events on my channel. I get a lot of turned off, like 2 hours, 3 hours talking by myself with the chat about the releases, questions, and anything. So yeah, I'm not like the greatest YouTuber on Latin America, not the biggest channel, but I think I have my audience, my audience, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, no, and then a couple of things, like you said, a lot of good stuff, Plasti, and it really stuck out. One is the fact that I think a lot of us picture you behind the computer just always editing. Like it's like this matrix screen and you're just editing snippets of everyone's, because that's almost like the commodity. Everyone wants to do a stream, and then they say, oh, Plasti's gonna snip this, and I'm like, do you guys think he watches all the streams? And then there you are in the chat, and I'm like, oh, I guess he does, because then a couple of days later we see like a snippet, and that's almost been like the thing that a lot of collectors look forward to. I know, especially with like the Tuesday crew, you would do the recaps and you get the highlights, So sometimes if some of us that miss the stream, we get to see the highlights, and we're like, damn, next time I'm definitely not going to miss it, because there's obviously some great conversations. But it seems like that starts to spread amongst others in the community, like Plastiamigos, Infinity Equation, even with Kevin toying around, like, everywhere it's like, oh, Plasti's going to snip this and make like this great reel about it. And that's almost like, you do a great job of capturing that. So I think you're definitely making your mark again in a different way, creating your own path. But other things that I think a lot of us forget is it must be a real challenge to collect what we're collecting, but you're miles away and oceans away. You're in a whole different country, so there must be a lot of challenges for you to acquire what you need to do and still keep up with the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm not trying to keep up with anybody. Because I can. I basically can. Just because in terms of because I like a few years ago I had to like get that in my head because I wanted to. You know,
Right.
when you're around a couple of guys, like they have their figures in hand, you want to get them. Like that's
Right.
good. That's good too.
Yeah.
But you simply can't. I don't care. Even if I overpay, I can't.
Right.
So that's a good realization. Like I have to come to terms with in order to like keep moving. You know, sometimes I do get the figure like a week after it's released in the US. Sometimes I can't. So the thing is, like, I'm gonna try to always have something to review, and that thing like is like keeping me from overspending for figures to get them early. In other let's say like there's case like I do want them, like like I can't wait. So in those cases, I do the exception. But yeah, it's hard. Like for Marvel Legends, we're talking like $25 last year, $25 or 30.
Yeah.
When I found them here, like months later. So it's like more expensive and late. So most of the time, that's why I'm not too big on Legends. I need to pick and choose like the ones I really want, because I can do like they are not $19.80 for me. So sometimes they are not worth it.
Yeah, because you're paying extra for that import fee and all that extra stuff. And you know, kind of going back to Legends, I know you don't collect it a lot, but are there a lot of retailers that do distribute toys, or do you find that it's really hard? You know, like I think we take it for granted here in America. We can go to Target, I can go to Walmart. Excuse me, I almost said YouTube. Yeah, Walgreens. And it's easy to find figures, you know, relatively. But for you, you know, you like Prime said, I don't think about what is a guy in Colombia experiencing. So do you find that it's easy to find that in retail stores, or is it still really hard to find that stuff?
The Hasbro stuff is like it's better in some countries, because Mexico is right along beside you, so they get like good releases in good time window times, like a month, maybe it's the same time that you, even before you. But down here in Colombia, like we have one big retailer is once like department store. It's called Pepe Gang. It's called Pepe Ganga. It's not in all cities. So in my city, I have only one, and we are like the capital of this state, and we get figures like 2-3 months old, like when they hit here. I'm not even counting when they hit there in the US, but I started seeing like, okay, in Bogota, we saw this way or this way, because the pictures get on Facebook, on the community, say, okay, I saw this, I saw that. Let's go for Joe's, for Rangers, for Legends, or Black Series. And you know, okay, I'm going to have to start going to my local store like in a week or 2 weeks to see if they pop up, and maybe they don't. Maybe a month, 2 months pass, and then the whole one wave, one set there. Okay, okay. But most of the time, I pay like if the figure can be found here in Colombia, I pay from us to bring it from the city. It's less expensive and I got it quickly. But down here, even for Hasbro stuff, we got virtual store. Like virtual stores is like here it's all about. You can get like from Mezco to Legends, anything from virtual shops that operates on Facebook group that has like 4 or 5 year experience importing things. Like they have, some store has some stocks, others like do it on pre-order, but even then you have to like pay a little extra, not that much, like bring it on yourself, but because of the volume. But you can find anything if you have the money. Sometimes it's a little bit expensive, sometimes it doesn't even worth the money you pay. But like even with having not that much of a catch, if you have like some, I don't know, patience, if you have patience, Hasbro product or even Mattel could show up on a physical store. But it's hard.
And I'm sure that makes you, you know, a little bit more considerate as far as what you do get. Like, okay, do I really want to spend this much on this this Marvel Legends, or should I save that for a Mezco that maybe I'm a little bit more interested in? You know, so I'm sure that makes you kind of consider that a little bit more. And you know, I think a lot of people don't realize is that Mezco was not always international shipping. That was something that was probably added maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I can't really remember now. But
Yeah, like 2 years.
Yeah, for a long time, they didn't offer international shipping. So for guys like you have to, like you said, go to eBay. But even considering that, when you look at your page, I think it was like your 6th video is the Mezco Toys 112 Dark Knight Returns Batman, which is one of the first releases.
Mm-hmm.
So even with the struggles that you have, you're still getting a lot of these figures. And like for that stuff, did you have to go to eBay for that before they started offering the international shipping? Or
No. I actually had those figures way before I had the channel. I got my Dark Knight Returns Batman when they released. I got one from an imported store here. Because I don't know, when I found out that line, it was 2015, it was already sold out. Oh, damn. I was looking for Dark Knight Returns figures, and I found a video of Pierre and other guys on Pixar show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, some video. Damn, I want this figure so badly, and I kept like chasing them. I found everywhere I looked, it was sold out. Then one day, I had like a notification on Instagram, like it was like March or I don't know, April 2015. Mezco made a post. I went in. It was like 3 in the afternoon. I was in my job. Okay, I'll check. And it was like a post they of them saying like, we found another box of these MDX, the Dark Knight Returns, so get them while they're hot. So I called my retailer down here. I say, hey, get me this figure. And he
buy it now.
Hey,
Unless he's calling shots. He's like, hey, go get me this box now.
Yeah, get me this motherfucker. And he's like, oh, this is really expensive. Buy that shit. And he got it. And then, okay, get another one. No, it's sold out. He got like right in the mix.
Damn, that's crazy.
Wow.
Oof.
That was the first one I got. And then another retailer had the PX exclusive. So I paid like, I don't really remember. But it was like $60, $65, and I paid like $80 or something like that.
Wow.
So
Okay,
I was able to get those because it was early. Nobody knew the line. Nobody knew those figures that came out down here in Colombia. Like nobody knew what that was.
Yeah.
What was that? So I got like that MDX. I got like 2 gray and blue, and 2 gray and black. Something like that. I got like 6 Batman because you can find it on
He's
eBay.
flexing
like,
out. All right, let's get flexing out. This guy's just flexing out.
That's better luck than I had, man. I came out with 1.
No, because back then Mezco wasn't the most that is today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
No, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean,
doing some eBay searching, like you can find like, okay, it's not 65, but it's like 90. But when you have that figure in hand, that first figure, today it's like all dated and all you want to see about it. But at that time, 2015, it was like nothing else you had in hand.
Right.
So I was so impressed with that. I tried to buy the ones I could find. And 1 year later, I had the channel, but I didn't want to start with that figure because I wasn't too sure how to do a review. I didn't want to get too complicated, so I saved that for like, okay, let's do some videos first. They figure this thing out because I knew those figures back then, 2016, down here were like, I thought we're gonna get like the fire in my channel. So I didn't want to blow those reviews up that quickly with no experience. But I looked at them now and they're horrible. They're way too awful, man. Yeah.
It's all about progress, Plasti.
We all go through kind of we all go
through
some kind of evolution where we start in some spot and then you end up somewhere else. But I mean, it's clear that you've definitely progressed a lot in your YouTube career. And even though you didn't start with the Mezco 112, Batman, you did start with a TDKR Batman, which was the armored version from DC Multiverse, which I can appreciate. So it seems like you're a little bit more DC heavy. Is that right? Or you like, if you had to choose between DC and Marvel, you're more of a DC guy?
I'm a DC for the comics and Marvel for the movies. I'm going to say it right now. Because I did watch a lot of cartoons when I was growing up from Marvel. Like in my country in the 80s, like we saw a lot of that 60 or 70s Iron Man and Hulk. Like they were like frame, moving frame to frame. those were really popular back then in the 80s on my country. But that was like the only Marvel we had until the 90s came, and we had like the X-Men or the Spider-Man. But by then I wasn't that like into cartoons. I watched cartoons in the 80s, so I had like no exposure to Marvel in a regular basis from quality. Like we had Super Friends, we had like the Batman and Robin cartoon. So visually like live action or cartoon, I'm like more DC, because that's what's like the thing I grew up. Comic books back then, few little in my country that there was no culture of comic back then. It was all like TV. So for me, comics when I was like a young adult, I could like get in on the internet a PDF file and read it. But yeah, and obviously the MCU has like a lot of influence on me, because okay, I knew all the character, I knew all much of their backstory, but the MCU like gave me spent food spoon fed to me.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
Iron Man. I was a big Iron Man fan in the 80s, because it was one of the cartoons like I show, and Iron Man was a perfect movie for me to start in the MCU. I love that. In fact, when I moved to Colombia, we had no cable, we had no internet. I bought a Blu-ray player, and the first movie I got was Watchmen and Iron Man. And it was like the deluxe edition of Iron Man, like was 2 weeks. So I spent like 2 weeks watching Iron Man and the whole behind the scenes, and I get so pumped up that was like, okay, I'm gonna go like to internet. I find some figures of this because this is fire. I need this Iron Man, and that what got me to the Rebel Tech Iron Man.
Oh wow, okay,
yeah.
That's awesome.
See, and like when I came across your channel, and I was like, okay, because I like to play your YouTube videos, like either when I'm hanging out with my kids or whatever, because then they usually. Oh, did we lose Plasti?
I think we might have lost Plasti for a second.
Yeah. Well, I'll save my beef / compliment when he comes back.
Yeah, he'll be back. There we go.
Yeah, he had to attend the green room. Oh, there. Let's throw him back in here.
There you are, Plasti.
Yeah,
he didn't want to hear it. He was like, "Fuck this." He's like,
I'm out.
Prime.
I
don't care what you gotta say.
I don't care about your kids.
He's like, man, fuck your kids. No, where I was going with it is like, I like playing his videos. And, like sometimes I'm getting food ready and stuff, and then it's usually me and the kids, and they'll hear Plasti, and they're like, and then because I'm big. I went to school in Mexico for like 2-3 years, right? Lost a bunch of my Thundercats because my cousin stole them, and I was like, that's it. I was traumatized. But when I right now, that like my son's age, he's 9 years old. He thinks like YouTube is an official career. Like, hey, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. Like all his friends are like, hey, they want beef with Ryan. So they see I'm playing, and he's like, who's that? I'm like, oh, that's Plasti. He's like, what is? I'm like, he's speaking Spanish. He's doing reviews. He's like, oh, and then he's like, oh, it broadens that horizon where it's like it's not just has to be just in one language. There's also a Spanish community. There's also different languages out there, and I'm like, he's reviewing action figures where that's what cracks me. Is my daughter, she'll come into my room, she'll be like, oh, and she points and she's like, oh, those are action figures. Mine are toys, like hers. She's like, oh, these are toys. She's like, but dads are action figures. We can't touch them. So it's cool that they get a kick out of watching the videos and stuff. And then he'll be like, oh, that's the one you have. And they'll point. I'll show them, some of the videos, and they're like, "Oh, you don't have that one." I'm like, "Well, Plasti sometimes gets shit before I do, so that's what pisses." I'm like, I can't find half this stuff. There's nothing around me, but no, yeah, my kids get a kick out of it.
Nice, thank you, man. Thank you. That's good. That's good to know.
And it reinforces them. I tell them, "Hey, this is why you got to learn how to speak Spanish."
Yeah, so don't talk to like, because I talk real fast, even in Spanish. Yeah. So sometimes like I get this. Okay. I think like people don't know about me. Like I have like, it's not like a condition, but I speak too fast in Spanish.
Yeah.
So I've been like that since I was like a kid, and sometimes people is in Spanish, they get like a little hard to understand me.
Yeah.
So when I started YouTube, I got like a bunch of comments like, "Hey, we can understand you. Talk really fast."
No te entendemos.
Yeah, no te entendemos, vato loco. Habla más lento. And of course I knew that that was going to be an issue because I've been battling
Yeah.
with it all my life.
Yeah.
But since I become aware of the channel like being watched by other people, and
Yeah.
I need them to understand, I've been like getting better. Like
Yeah.
my pattern speech in Spanish has slowed
Slow
down.
down. Yeah.
And yeah, that was like the first thing like I did. Okay, this YouTube thing is something good for me.
Yeah.
Not only it's like a hobby, no hobby, doing something I love, but I'm taking this to practice how to modulate better my voice, like to
Right.
speak in public, and all that
Yeah.
thing. And I'm talking Spanish.
Uh-huh. Same.
Now this year, I'm like getting in with you guys and
Yeah.
other friends on YouTube. So I'm like getting back my English because I used to speak English better than I do now, but
Yeah.
I had like 3 or 4 years like I didn't have anyone to speak English with, so it got really rusted. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you lost like the whip mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
you're coming with the phrases in English like as you're speaking, so it got rusted.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, this YouTube thing like it has its benefits. You
Oh
know,
yeah, for sure.
like I said early, it helps you connect with people like
Mm-hmm.
other collectors, other YouTubers, other
Yeah.
content creator. But if you have like something you need to work, like you think you can
Yeah.
get better with,
Oh
use
yeah.
YouTube. Use YouTube
Oh
because
yeah.
it will push you like to learn to lose your fear to public speech. Get better if you need to get better in some aspect of that, editing, photograph, anything.
Oh yeah.
It will be a good excuse to do that, and it has been for me in several fronts as now.
Yeah. I've been known to be a fast talker, and sometimes my words will run just together. Now I'm known for, hey, people come up to me and compliment me on my shirt, and I don't know what to say, and I just respond with a, hey, ain't it great?
Ain't it
So,
great?
but I definitely agree. I think
Yo,
it helps us emphasize on like your interpersonal skills and make
Yeah,
you be able to
yeah,
carry that conversation, because I have that problem where I'm just, my mind's going at 100 miles per hour, and I may be speaking even faster, but I need to remember that those listening or watching can only hear bits and pieces because I'm probably speaking too fast. So I just need to learn how to pause, and I'll get the words out eventually. I just need to give myself a break.
yeah, I think it's such a good thing to touch on, and it's not something you think about a whole lot. Is like, how does the toy collecting or how does the toy community benefited me? You know,
Right.
but it's something that when I look back at my history, you know, I used to have a lot of like social anxiety and just not wanting to share my passion for collecting and all of that stuff, and being very afraid to be public about it because it just wasn't as widely accepted as it is now. But finding the toy community, it made me think like, man, I'm in my own head too much. Like
Yeah.
I need to chill out.
Yeah.
And you know, it's made me kind of like think about, okay, how can I be a little bit more social? How can I be a better person to some of these people that are reaching out to me? You know, and it's such a reciprocal thing that we've talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
You give back and you get back, and then I've improved my, you know, toy photography from that, just from being able to interact with certain people in the community, and you know, meeting people like Plasti, who has opened my eyes to other people in other countries that might be dealing with, you know, collecting issues and things like
Yeah.
that. Looks like we might have lost Plasti, but I'm sure he'll be back with us soon. But yeah, I mean, it's just something that I'd never really thought about. So the fact that he brought that up, I'm like, yeah, you know, he's right. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of personal stuff that you might be dealing with that you might not want to share as much, but
Mm-hmm.
having the toy community to kind of like bounce ideas off of or just share content and get feedback, you're like, okay, I've got a little more confidence in myself now because it's a bit more widely accepted than I thought it might have been.
And I think
prior.
you know, something that we've touched upon before is having just a good support system, and like Plasti is a good example of that. And there's a lot of other fellow collectors that continuously come out and show that support. And you know, sometimes behind the scenes is when they give you that feedback, like, hey, try this out, or you know, you're
Right.
you know, try this approach. I think that also helps to make progress in the
Yeah.
way you want to see that type of progress. So no, it's always good. I
yeah,
think sometimes they're overseen. That type of that skill is overseen. It's like, oh, it's easy.
Yeah, you just don't think about like what benefits have I been getting back from the toy.
Right.
Maybe you think about, okay, this is a plastic addiction. I've got figures and I'm taking photos. You know, what real benefit could I get from that? But the
Right.
community itself has made me so much more comfortable with me collecting and sharing that with people. Because I've told you before, Prime, it was like my dirty little secret for a long time. I didn't want to share it with anyone.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, I
Yeah.
collect figures. I take photos. You know, this
Yeah.
is. I went under a different name for a while.
Yeah.
Eventually changed it to Nate, and then started showing people. And then you realize, like, you know, that's actually pretty widely accepted, and they can actually help me with my own issues that I'm dealing with. Just being able to share this with people. So the fact that Plasti was like, yeah, it's helped me with my speech. You don't think like collecting toys would do that, but it's amazing the benefits that it gives back to you.
Yeah,
it's
and
really cool.
you were saying like I do like a lot of sharing of other people content, and
Yeah.
that's what, like, one of my focus, because for instance, you guys, like, you sit down there and talk, like talking to a friend, but I love what I love about your show is like the topic you choose,
Yeah.
because they are always helpful in some other way to anyone who like is in this hobby, because it's thought provoking. Like you talk like about the hater,
Yeah.
or the if I buy too much or
Yeah.
anything. Like each conversation you have, it opens a door or a question. Like for instance, am I positive about the content of other people? How do
Yeah.
I engage with the creation from other guys? Like in the episode, the hater.
Yeah.
I was talking about something like that with my wife, like 3 days ago. I
Yeah.
got a real hating stupid
Yeah.
comment on my channel. It was so stupid. Like my first reaction was like, this guy wants to be made fun of because he was so stupid.
Yeah.
And I engaged with him, trying to see how stupid was his comment. Not because I want him to feel bad, but
Right.
what I wanted is like, this guy needs to think twice before doing that to a kid who's starting now on the YouTube, because I have 6 years now in this in the YouTube. It's not that much, but it's prepared me to the thick skin, thick
Yeah.
skin,
Thick skin.
to brush that off my shoulder and say,
Yeah.
I don't care. No?
Right.
But
Yeah.
but if that comment was like in 2016, I might have felt bad,
Right.
you know, or
Yeah.
maybe stop doing what I did, and that was gonna be like unfortunate. So sometimes people on the other side of the computer, like, take the content for granted, because there's a lot of content creators doing what you do in other ways, so they all you have to do was keep your video and go to the next one.
Yep.
And they don't know, like, the I don't like how you work to get there, and where you want to go, and how do you need to feel secure on what you're doing, like reinforcing like the good job, and maybe giving advice in what you can on like the things you could get better. That goes a long way for the creator. Like, if you like to keep seeing that content out there
Right.
from anybody, you
Right.
need to appreciate for what it is, and like hope it gets better, no like
Right.
try to take it down.
Yeah.
So
Right.
what you're saying about like the haters, like in the last episode, the comments you got, okay, yeah, I
Oh, damn.
can fight that. What
Right.
we can do, what we can do is like share content of value that people can appreciate in a regular basis, because hate is spread too fast and way too easy. People are like eager to get recognized for the snarkier comment, or the quick angry joke about
Yeah.
something they didn't like. It's like harder to appreciate a figure in his soul, but it's like easier to find that one flaw that you need to get a comment, a stupid comment sometimes about that one flaw. But if the figure has like too many other benefits, why don't you comment on that? Because
Right.
most of the people will read those comments, and maybe if you like found something you like on a figure, you can highlight it in a comment, like, oh, I like how this figure like does this and does that. Maybe someone like reading the comments didn't notice that in the video, but they're getting it from the comments. So try to add something to the content. Is it's like the best way to support somebody that you like to see grow up on something because you like their content, because he's your friend or something, you know. So that's what I try to do. Like everywhere you look, Facebook, Instagram, even YouTube, there's a lot of hate on even content creators. Like now on the live stream, all you see is like guys talking about toys. Some of them do it like you guys do, like Kev do, like Wade does it, like in a regular way, like this is good, this is bad, okay, let's go with the good, but this always it. But there's always a guy like to talk shit and trash everything because I don't
Right.
know, because it's cool to hate, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Right.
make fun of everything, and maybe between guys like in a chat, private chat, because they are not you're kidding, or because you buy the figure anyway, you can
Of course.
talk trash about a figure, and anyway it doesn't matter. But when you have an audience, they don't know you personally to know that you are like talking shit, like you are making
Yeah.
fun for the making fun of it, not to say it's a garbage, it's a trash. No, it's funny because it look weird, but that doesn't mean it's trash.
Yeah.
So when you put, in my opinion, when you put content out there, you need to eliminate like the possibility anybody takes it the wrong way.
Right.
You know,
Oh yeah.
you can always have that. You can always have that all 100% like ensurement that they want, but you try your best. In my case, I like, for instance, I do a podcast on my own. Like it was like my problem with, and I started the first season with 10 brands. I have problems. I
Just starting
collect.
beef. Just starting beef
Yeah.
over here, Plasti.
That's that. What's this? My approach was I'm gonna hook them with the title, like my problem
Yeah.
with, because
Yeah.
that's a hook. That like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's what
there's
got
beef.
me. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What's Plasti talking about? And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, he got me.
There's beef. So that get the guys like I wanna see what this guy had to say about Mezco, for example. That was my first
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
But what they didn't know is like the first half of the episode is me talking about the things I don't like about the way they do their figures or how they manage something I don't like. The second half is the way is why I love those figures, because it doesn't make sense for me like talk about a brand I hate but I buy the figures. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
If you're a reviewer, like you do reviews and collectors figures, but you hate the brand, you hate the figures, I'm sorry, but you don't have to be buying those figures. Those figures ain't
Right.
for you.
Right.
So there's always gonna be good and bad in every figures, and it's gonna vary depending on the guy's needs, because there's guys who need like the figures to be extra possible. So maybe a Mezco will be too hindered for him, but
Right.
maybe there's guys like they want the figure to look good, so and have decent articulation. So Mezco could be for you, and that will vary from people to people. So I'm trying to see. I'm trying to in my reviews and on my content to say no figure is perfect from any perspective. The figure could be manufactured like no flaws on it, no design flaw, no QC issue, nothing. It could be handed for you for free. But if it doesn't scratch your itch, you're gonna find something you don't like. So it's not gonna be perfect for you. And that's why I try to say that in my videos. It's had something I don't like, but I like all of this. And I try to emphasize that. And for instance, I don't think like I'm talking too much. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
No,
you're
please.
hey.
This
I
is
don't
what we
think
want to hear.
I don't think it's fair like compare brands because you collect them. Like I wouldn't compare like a Yamaguchi to a Mezco, because in my mind not only there are companies from different countries are from different targets. They are different like I don't know how to say, like priorities, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mezco wants to do beautiful figures, well, that move well. Yamaguchi wants to do figures that move really, really, extremely stupid well,
Right.
and they are willing to sacrifice some aesthetic aspect on that. So
Yeah.
compare those. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
I couldn't say. I will never say like this figure is better than this figure. Is a brand are so different. So people like try to hate one brand because it's not like what they want, opposed to another one that does it. So that doesn't make sense. If it's not for you, don't buy it. it's not the brand fault because you like more articulation that they were willing to have, because I'm a big Mezco guy. And one comment that get highlighted in my mind, in my eyes, because it's what I look. It's like, okay, this Mezco is good, but it doesn't look, doesn't move that well like any other brand, because they don't supposed to.
Right.
That figure is not for you. Yeah, that's right. So that's the thing. Like, I want to put out there. I know it's only my thoughts, but I know, like, I've been handling those figures for a quite some time, like, to create a perspective of what they do better from each other.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
And for
Hands down.
and for me, that's a way, like, to try to like push down those type of conversation, like this one is trash because this one does it better. You have your preference.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good either way.
Yeah, it's almost like anything. Like, you wouldn't wear a pair of cleats and then decide to go cha-cha dancing. You're not gonna get nowhere because you're gonna be slipping and like, you got to have the right shoes. The figures have to have, like, you're dealing with Mezco. It's a whole different, like, you're in a different mindset. If you're messing with Legends, then it's a whole different gameplay. Like, expecting like a certain type of car, let's say it's like a 4x4 truck, to be able to handle like a Dodge Viper. Like, you can't compare it. Like, that's
exactly.
So it always rattles my brain when I see it, those out there just comparing everything to Marvel Legends. I'm like, Marvel Legends may be a staple, but we can't have it as a benchmark because there's so many other companies. There's third party now. So if your thing is articulation, probably the Gucci Gang will be a good fit for you. But if it's like aesthetics, maybe more something like Super 7 or Mezco.
Well, it's just like, that's why we have so many different action figure companies,
right?
Because
why stick to one thing? Like,
they all offer something different. And if you're going to expect that a Mezco is going to move the same as a Gucci, you're in in for a sad realization, because that's just not the way that it works. Yeah, that's why when I see people like just trashing Super 7, and I respect everybody's opinion, I get people that say it doesn't move like a Mafex. It's not a Mafex. It doesn't. Right. The name is not Medicom toy. It is Super 7.
Yeah, and it's a whole different. Yeah,
it's trying to go for a different aesthetic, just like how Plasti said. Mezco wants their figures to look amazing. Top quality fabric goods, good sculpts.
Yeah.
Sometimes the articulation goes by the wayside so that they get the look that they're looking for.
Right.
And I think you build credibility with people when you can not only look at the bad, but you can look at the good too.
Right.
Because if I'm not going to respect somebody that just says like Mezco's amazing, Mezco's the best thing ever, like they don't do anything wrong. Like, I get it. You probably really love Mezco. Yeah. But if you can't acknowledge that the fact that sometimes the figures aren't perfect and sometimes the distribution is got issues, then I don't really respect you as a toy reviewer. So the fact that you do that, Plasti, I think that builds a lot of credibility with people, because yes, I can say positive things all day long about figures, and maybe that gets me some sponsors. But if I can't talk about a figure honestly, then your audience will not trust your opinion. They're like, well, Plasti's just getting paid from Mezco. He's just going to say whatever he wants to say.
I got that comment because I also made a video about the first half of the Master of the Universe show Netflix launched back 2 months ago. I got those comments like, okay, you like this show? You've been paid by Mattel. No, I'm not. I hope I was. But I didn't. They don't even know who I am. They send figures to guys who doesn't want the show. I watch the show. And I still have to buy them. But because I was like a heavily YouTuber. I heavily YouTube consumer before I was like a content creator. I learned to watch the videos first and then listen what the guy told me. My eyes are saying this figure moves like I want to, but maybe that guy who has a figure don't like that. I don't care what he say. If I see something I like, I don't, because that's his opinion. That's like his needs not being filled. Mine are. Right. So that approach I take on my videos because I'm showing the figure. I can't hide that if a figure has like a lack of movement or does anything bad, or if I'm moving the figure, one arm pop off, that's gonna be on the video. So I can't hide that. I have to mention everything. What I can do is say this bothers me, this doesn't bother me, because that's my opinion. The guy watching the video is gonna see that and gonna see, okay, I do mind this, I do mind that. That's why I want my videos to like people make I give all the information, I give my opinion, but I want the guy who's spending the money or spending their time watching my video to have the final word over their needs to be filled. Because I don't care if I don't, let's say an example of Wade or the Amazing Robo like the figure. If I don't like it, I won't buy it.
Right.
So that's what that's.
You said that The Amazing was one of your inspirations early on. He's one of the guys that you used to watch, and it was the same with me. He's one of the first guys I ever discovered. He's one of the guys I'd always go to when I was not sure about a figure, because I think kind of like what you're saying, he's really good about giving his personal opinion about stuff without trashing it. Yeah. He's like, this isn't a trashy figure, but maybe there's something about this that I don't really like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or he might in a different view, he might say, this is amazing. Might not be for everybody, but I like it. You know, he's very good about kind of taking that unbiased approach, but still giving you the information that you need so that I'm educated as a buyer, because ultimately a lot of the times that's what we go to toy reviews for. I don't know if I want to buy this or not. So let me see what this guy has to say about it.
Man, it's so funny because I watched one of the Amazings because I was on the fence, and now I want to kick myself. I want to go back.
Never do that. Never do that. If you're on the fence, no.
No, but I was on the fence. I was on the fence between two figures. It was the armored Batman. It was either Mezco armored Batman or Mafex armored Batman. I was like, oh, which? Okay, obviously now I'm like, I should have, but I was like, I'll watch these review. And he's like, hey, if you want articulation, go Mafex. If you want something to look good, get the Mezco. And I was like, I want articulation. I'm all about articulation. I'm gonna take all these pictures. I got the Mafex armored Batman, and I passed on the Mezco armored Batman. Now I probably would have got both. Like, I'm such a dummy. I'm like, damn, I should have. And it was retail. It was like when they got released, so I would have been able to.
Damn.
Speaking of the Mezco armored Batman, Plasti, I think that's the video you did after the TDKR, which is another Mezco exclusive.
Yeah, it was a Comic-Con exclusive.
So, was the retailer that you're dealing with, was he able to get access to that? Was he just buying it from his own personal account? I mean, how does that work?
By then, I was okay. I'm in trouble because I can't depend on this of this guy. I can't depend on this guy.
Names.
No. I can't depend on this guy to be free whenever I need to buy something that pops up, because by then I knew Mezco is like crazy. Oh, okay. So what I did was I'm also a Blu-ray collector, you know.
Okay.
And I had a guy that had a store, a virtual. He sold Blu-ray he brought them from the US and sold him here by demand. Like, you want that movie, he brought it, and he has like a stock, and he brings shit every week. So I called, I was his a frequent buyer, and I said, hey, if I buy something from the US, could you bring that to me? He said, of course, yeah, sure. So I got his address, and I bought that figure. I bought the pack with the
Mutant Leader 2-pack.
Yeah, the Mutant Leader. That's the base I use every day.
Plasti's over here sneaking SDCC stuff into Blu-ray packages. Man, like, oh my goodness.
That's the day I use for my figures, like, every day. Yeah.
That set was extremely hard to get, even for people in the US at the time. So the fact that you have that, and it's one of like your, I don't know, it's like your 7th or 8th video on there. Like, holy shit, this guy's got an amazing collection already.
Yeah,
and in a different country. For a company that does not offer international shipping. That's a feat in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge Mezco fan. I told you, man. I'm a huge.
I understand.
But puts me to shame. I got to turn on my Mezco card. I'm hours away from SoCal. I can't even get exclusive, and Plasti's miles away, and he manages to pull strings and
I bought it from Mezco, man.
Man, damn.
That's impressive. Dude.
Puts me to shame.
That's impressive. That's good. Cool, though. I mean, it's really cool that you had a guy like that.
Yeah.
For anybody listening, you know, if you got friends that are international, maybe think about that for a second when a new Mezco goes up. Like, hey, can I hook you up, man? Because I know it's hard for you to get this. Like, let me help you out.
Let me tell you something. Mezco is really hard for us to buy from here to there, because you got that. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I don't use international shipping because I'm in the same continent. I'm down here in Latin America, and it's like $50.
I heard it's really expensive.
Once I for by mistake the site took my actual address and another one I had in the address book, and it was like $50. No, hey, I'm not paying that for like one black school, like one
Yeah.
tiny box.
No.
So this story connects to the previous, because that guy from the club, from the video store, like closed his business because he got married, and I don't know, his personal affairs. But I lost that contact. So what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
Another friend told me, okay, I had a store. What I do is I do a postal virtual PO box. There's company based on Colombia that had like an office or a warehouse down there in Miami, and they provide a service. They you buy things there. They go to that address. They consolidate all those figures into one box. Or
Okay.
figures in my case, or whatever your wife buys, or you want to give to your mom, anything.
Mm-hmm.
They stock them for you like a period of time, and when you want them, they put it on in a box and send it to you. And it's like
wow.
$30 for like 12 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not gonna pay $50 for Mezco to
No,
send
that's
me a
right.
$2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Like
It's like a big pile of loot.
Yeah, like a big pile of loot. So I got that address, and that's how I managed to buy a lot of Mezco figures, because I can't do it international shipping either. Like $50 for each. Plus, something the guys don't know is like, for us down here, we don't get waitlist. We can get in waitlist because waitlist doesn't use PayPal, and every time we pay a regular figure on the Mezco side, we have to use PayPal. They don't take our credit cards, so we have to pay
all of it up front.
Right.
Yeah, we have to pay all of them, and if you add the shipping, like it's like $90 and $50 for the shipping, like $140 for a regular figure. So that's why we down here use Back Toy Store, use other outlet store, like they have the regular releases, because it's too hard for us.
Yeah.
Rough.
I know we've talked a couple times, and I've told you, hey, whatever you need, if I can get it, I'll get it for you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, same goes for me, Plasti. I know I haven't mentioned that in a DM, but just hearing you talk about it, I'm like, man, I want to help this guy out. So if I can, and if there's a figure that goes up, you know how big of a Mezco collector I am, Plasti.
Yeah,
so
man,
I'm there, I'm ready.
I've got a little help from the Tuesday Crew.
Yeah, he does. I'm over here ready to jump. And then Plasti's like, I'll let you know. And I'm like, all right, I'll get it for you. And he's like, I already got it. And I was like, this guy got it before I did. But
no. You know how there's a lot of Tuesday Crew. They are named differently, but on our crew, like some of the people, like for the Joe's releases, like MCU Collector 24 helped me, Nico Hodge, Rick, they always like, oh yeah, I got an extra. Okay. I hesitate to ask for help because I know that shit is hard for you to get too. So I don't want to like, hey, if you get one of these real exclusive figure, like get me one. No. If I see like if you say like in the chat, for example, oh, this is back on pre-order. Okay, can anybody help me and get me one? Okay. And most of the time, you guys have helped me, so I can't complain about that, because most of the time, I don't know. Sometimes I don't even have to ask, and that's super great. I'm always grateful for that, because, like I said, it's hard to ask for those things.
Oh yeah, that was the only reason why I ordered a second Outback. I was like, well, if Plasti can't get one, I ordered a second one for.
No shit.
Yeah,
I need one.
Oh, I got you, Outback.
You're good to go.
I thought I told you in the chat.
Thank you. No.
You said, hey, and I'm like, I got you.
No.
Yeah.
I think guys,
I got a second Outback. Yeah.
Ooh, thank you, man.
I think a lot of that it's reciprocal too. Plus, it's like it's not something maybe I would offer to anybody, but it's I know what kind of person you are just from the interactions that we've had, and you are incredibly supportive, and you give back to the community probably more than you take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're always active in chats, you're always active on Instagram, you're always sharing people's stuff, and that's reciprocal. People want to give that back to you. Like, man, you've been such a supporter of me. I just want to help you out if I can. Yep. Like, what can I do to help you? But it goes with the kind of person that you are. Plus, you're just a good person, so people want to help out good people.
It's a great community. It's like surround yourself with good people, and it's always fun, whatever you do.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
Somebody asked me like, why do you do like the clip for the way the Umpara Junior video? I don't do that for him.
Those are hilarious.
I don't do that for that bastard, because most of the time he don't even watch them. He don't even share them. He don't. No, I do that for the guys that like that kind of shit, like the chat, the Tuesday crew, like they are so cold, because getting their reactions is like the most fun I have doing those videos. So sometimes I'm doing the clips and I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna be funny for the guys, or this and and that's like the main fuel for that,
hilarious.
because spreading those moments is like, I don't know, giving someone like a window to get a laugh in the middle of scrolling from pictures, and I don't know.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And,
sure, man.
And
they're hilarious.
And those guys who watch like Wade, who watch Toymigos, who watch Kevin, or you guys, like most of us got like the same sensitive to the comedic things. So it's easy. It's easy, like a joke. You get that joke, and most of the guys who is up watching those guys, I'm gonna appreciate if they miss that. You know?
Oh yeah.
So it's funny. Sure. It's funny. And it makes my day too. Reading the comments.
Yeah, like you make some hilarious content out of that stuff, and you clearly have a lot of experience editing now, because the way that you put that together is makes it funny, because you kind of clip things perfectly together. It might not be exactly what somebody said, but you clipped it together in such a way where it makes it seem like that's what they're saying. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
Yeah, it is.
Good work with that.
Thank you.
With your YouTube, the other thing was, how have you noticed that your photography has gotten better?
Yeah,
because man, some of your pictures, like I think I was already pumped for the Mezco. Man, it's the Batman. It's the PX with the yellow tin. Is that Sovereign or Supreme Knight? I was already pumped to get him because I had already got on pre-order. But when I saw your picture, I was like, damn, I can't wait to get it. And I'm like, and Plasti got it before I did. But I was so excited that when I took of like, oh, I got my Batman, I wanted to emulate the picture that you had taken, because I think you took when you did your review, you had the tin and then the Batman in front of him, and I was like, man, that's such a killer picture. Like some of your pictures on your thumbnails that you use for your reviews, I'm like, man, those are killer pictures. That really shows off the greatness of the Mezco figure.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I don't know. I've always been fan of figure photography for toys. I'm not that good like doing the setup, because I don't have that patience. It requires to get the lights, get a setup. I don't do diodes. I don't do like props, because I have too much stuff. I don't know where to put them so they don't get smashed or something. So so for a while I've tried to do like decent photography for my videos, because that's what I wanted to show. I want to do a quality product, But then I realized I can't do both the same level. I have to short something, because I can't do this all on my own. I don't have like the time to do the setup for the pictures after doing the review and stuff. And it got to the point that I didn't want to do the review, because I'm not in the mood to take the pictures, but I have like 3 days without putting a review, and the figures are piling up. So when I found those same color backgrounds, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna try to focus like in a figure, do it like the product shot should be from the company, highlighting the figure, doing
exactly
a color doing a color background that pops the figure up, maybe a diode. This diode is like a savior for me, and varying that like a different floor once in a while, and the color depending on the match of the figure. And that's how I felt more comfortable doing my reviews now, because I'm satisfied with the pictures. I love posting the figures and stuff. I don't have to worry about the background, the lighting, anything, and I enjoy the process.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it reminds me of, like a really crisp, clean product shot. Because the colors even that you choose, I've sometimes done like reds and blues behind it, and I'm like, I can either see the light hitting it off. I'm like, I can't figure this out. But I love the way you choose the right colors that makes the figure pop out, because that's where my attention goes. My attention goes to the figure, and I'm like, great, another figure Plasti got before me. So that's
Is that something that you were doing before at all, or is that just a product of you wanting to provide more content for your YouTube channel as well?
It was a no. It was like a product of me trying to get a system in place where I could
Mm-hmm.
do videos faster or keep my rhythm without losing my energy.
Mhm.
Because of that. Because I
Takes a lot of
usually,
work.
yeah, I usually do my review first, comparison, and then like I go and take the pictures. By then I have like a few poses in mind because I have been playing for the figures like a couple of days. But then I think about what should I do with the background, the lights, anything. Like I lost the energy. I lost that rush of finish up, and well, it could take like 2 or 3 days more to do a video, to put out a video I already have shot.
Yeah.
So it's a faster way for me to like finish like my review with picture because I need that time to wrap my thought process about the figures, to give my conclusion, and usually I do it while the pictures are showing. So I couldn't like stop doing that. That wasn't an option for me. One thing I love is posting figures. I don't do like those crazy balance posts or any
Yeah.
fight poses like the amazing or anything. Same of that because sometimes I don't have like that energy of that time to play with a few bunch of figures. But I look,
Yeah.
Right.
I love like dynamic, semi-dynamic pose or impulsive pose or heroic poses. I do love that. I love those. So I enjoy now my taking the pictures for my video, and those are like the best one that I think are the best going to my Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a way to appreciate the figures too. Like if you're going to do a review on it,
Yeah.
posing it up and taking some pictures is a good way to get some feedback for that video or just some commentary of things that you want to talk about. You're like, okay, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to play with it, I'm going to take some photos, and then I've got some more things to talk about as I'm
Yeah.
making the video because I've actually used it. And that's another thing, like I said before, builds that credibility. Like not only are you talking about it, and you see people that just open a figure and they talk about it and that's it.
Yeah.
But you don't see them actually playing
Yeah.
with it or
Or,
posing it or doing anything like that. If you put
or
those photos
something
there, you're like this. Sorry, go ahead,
something
Paul.
I something I dislike about watching a video is like the reviewer complain about the lack of the poor articulation of a figure, and then watching the figure the poses at the end are like vanilla poses. So okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just
so
like
what?
looking at it like this the whole time. You're like, yeah, this figure just can't move very well.
Yeah,
They're not really moving. It's like, well, show me what you're talking about. Like
Oh,
that.
or
That,
like
that
this
looks
one.
great just by itself right there.
This is for you, Josh.
yeah, I know. Thanks.
He's
This
got the
for you,
limit
Nate.
driver at least.
This is for you, Nate.
Yeah, thanks. You guys suck.
We're passing around.
Yeah.
One thing I
No, no,
want
no.
to touch on.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Plasti.
go, go, go.
Sorry.
No, I want to say like I'm gonna be honest. After I got like my 10Ks for Instagram like 3 years ago,
Yeah.
I relaxed a little because okay, I wanted that swoosh to pop my video on the history,
Yeah.
the stories, and then I like okay, I'm gonna post whatever I feel posting on my Instagram. Like when I open it, my profile, I wanna like the pictures up there. I'm not a photographer. I'm not like taking time to do a picture and I'm put it out there when I'm like satisfied. Satisfied. I am a casual photographer for my reviews,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna post like news or anything. So I want my Instagram for me. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, from like 2 years ago, my Instagram has grown nothing, like
Oh,
two
wow.
2K or something like that. But I'm happy with it. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and
awesome.
as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you still got a big following. I mean, 12,000 is nothing to shake a stick at. That's a lot of people don't even reach that. Throughout their Instagram career, and
Yeah.
you've got a big following on YouTube as well. So you're doing something
like,
right.
He's like, I'm out of here. F these
He's
guys.
like, yeah.
He's all,
I'm
let me be
out."
honest with these fucks. Fucking guys.
There he is. Oh,
Go ahead.
there you are.
hey, Josh, it's not cool, man. Stop bringing me out. Come on.
Josh, if you could just stop kicking him out, man. We're trying to have a conversation here.
I'm gonna change this to mi problema with Plasti instead of
mi problema con Josh. I'm sorry, man. I'm not gonna bring this back again.
oh he does it again.
Sorry, man.
One thing I
won't
wanna-
do it again.
I
Okay.
want to ask you about because you briefly mentioned it, but you didn't give us a whole lot there. You do have a podcast that you're a part of with two other guys, and it's called Plastiamigos Live. So
Yeah.
was that something that was a product of your YouTube channel? Those people that found you through YouTube? I mean, how did that come to fruition?
Another collector from Mexico, like he was like big into Star Wars. One day found my channel looking for Mezco reviews, and he hit me up like going with question, no? Okay, and I answered the question on like the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Like months later, I'm starting to see like people like, okay, I came here because Lord Thanos and Disay sent me. Lord Thanos and Disay is that guy, and I didn't like make the connection.
Yeah.
So like 2 months later, I keep getting those comments like, I came here because Lord Thanos. Okay, I'm gonna see who is this guy, and I pop up and I pick up on his channel, and he was like 18K. Oh, this guy. And then I look into my mails, and I see this name somewhere. I did a search on my mail, and he was the guy sending me the question. So okay, this guy recommended my channel, so I'm grateful to him.
Yeah.
Then he contacted me on Instagram because he wanted to buy some Mezco stuff, and we like started chatting there. That was like 2 years ago. Yeah. Then last year, like we're kind of buddies. Then like chatting on Instagram, he came like with the idea like, dude, I'm gonna I want to do a live on my channel. Would you like to come in and like talk toys? Of course. At that time I have never like shown my face on camera, not even in my channel, not in my IG, nowhere. And I have like a stage fright, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like August last year, August 2020. I immediately thought, okay, this live. Before that, I wouldn't do that because that's gonna be like boring or anything. But one thing I got from the Parallel Universe live was it could be a conversation between guys, between buddies talking toys. It could be fun, and I have a good rapport with this guy, so I'm gonna do it. And we did it. We had fun like for 2 hours talk toys. It went great. So when it started, we wrap up and shit. I talk, hey, how about next time we bring your friend? I had another friend from Mexico. He was like a toy photographer, and I say, okay, let me ask him. He was like in the same boat I was. Like he haven't shown his face. He's also a YouTuber, and I convinced him. Okay, let's do this. We did that one off on the first guy channel. We trio like talk figures and shit. And it was so great. So the next morning, like we came with the idea that let's do this for like a monthly basis or a weekly basis, and it was rolling up until that. Okay, let's do this full project, a different whole channel. Let's put it a name. They came up with the Plastiamigos name, and I told them, okay, it has Plasti on it. They're gonna think it's my show.
It's like the Super Friends, like Plasti and his Plastiamigos.
yeah, because they like the Super Friends. Super Friends, it was in Spanish Super Friends.
Yeah.
Actually, our intro for our live is the intro of the cartoon, voiced by the actor that did the Spanish voice for that intro. Yeah, because he's Mexican. And one of the guys doing the show, his brother has his contact, so we pay to the guy. We pay to the guy to do the voices. So, dude, every time I get in, when I'm backstage listening to the intro, and I get that guy saying Plasti Adicto, his name, like, wow,
yeah,
like
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
really
huge.
Cool. Yeah, the fact that you got him to do that, you know,
man,
professional voice actor that is recording your intro, that's saying something, especially for somebody that you used to actually watch as a kid. I mean, that's crazy. That's really cool.
1 year later, it's still like unbelievable. Like every once in a while, when I'm listening to the backstage, wow, I can't believe this guy is saying my name, my YouTuber name. I can't believe I'm a YouTuber. I can't believe this guy is saying my name.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
And you guys go on every Saturday?
Saturday. Yeah, we go to every Saturday. It's like 11 Eastern time for you right now. So this next Saturday we have like 55 episodes. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, for anybody listening, if you're a fan of Plasti and you want to join his live and be a part of that conversation, because he's always joining everybody else's live, go check him out on YouTube. He's got a channel, Plastiamigos Live. You can subscribe there, hit that notification bell. That way you're not missing those lives. And for anybody listening, check him out next Saturday. and the Saturday after
Yeah.
that, because he's probably going to be live. So yeah, that's really cool, man. I think that's it's something maybe people that follow you that didn't know that you had that podcast. So it's cool that you have that, and it's another way for people to engage with you too, and maybe get involved in that conversation that you're having. Go check them out. Go give them.
And it's a really good time because the couple times I've been able to make it, I jumped on one where you guys throw out a topic to the audience and like, hey, tell us when of one of your favorite figures that you lost, or what happened, or tell us a tragedy that you had with some of your toys. And man, the chat was just like off the hook. It was just crazy. Like they're like, oh, my mom sold my collection, or my cousin stole them, and man, it was just it got everybody so engaged, and man, some crazy stories came out of that. So really fun time.
Yeah, it's really dope because we started like talking, random things.
Yeah.
We chose three topics, and we started the show and go topic for topic.
Yeah.
Rolling with the episode, we came with a structure. Like, first hour of the show, we want to have a question. Like we put on we create a Facebook group. So the Thursday before the show, we put the question there. They all have like the stories. We read them. Those stories we read them on the air. On the first hour, and everybody in the chat comments on the stories, and we laugh, and Crazy Talks comes with everybody shares their story. So the audience is part of the show for the first hour. That hour goes to then the Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and the second hour is like we call Holgorio. Holgorio is like freestyling.
Oh, okay.
And some of the time we talk about a TV show. Most of the time we don't have anything to talk, so we continue from the first hour. Any anecdote that we read is wild. The second hour could last like 2 or 3 hours sometimes.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
I really love
it's another way to talk figures too, and we all need more people to talk figures about. So go check out Plasti and his Plastiamigos live on YouTube.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we have our own tradition here, which is the Dirty Dozen. So we're going to give you that rapid fire round of 12 different topics, usually toy related, sometimes Jean-Claude Van Damme related. It just really depends.
Sometimes.
Yeah, give us, we're going to give you some topics here, and just give us the first thing that comes to your mind.
All right, so the first one will be, Mattel.
Improving.
Nice.
Yeah.
You were an early fan of Mattel, right? That was one of your first videos. Do you still collect them, or not really so much?
Master of the Universe. They are killing me with this. Not because I love Master of the Universe, because they are doing like great scoping, great articulation. They had a pinless system for the double jointed knees and elbows. They got like this technology figured out. They're using fairly good plastic, nice big paint apps. So if they can implement this on a $20 figure for his line across their market, they're gonna be gold.
Every time I see that He-Man, I'm like, I might get him because I seen your video, I seen what you're doing, and I'm like, man, Plasti's enabling me to get that. I got the Battle Cat. The Battle Cat's gorgeous. I love that.
Yeah, incredible, man. And for that
like
price,
for that price, yeah.
And like you say, improving. I mean, what they used to do at DC Multiverse and what they're doing now with He-Man, that's a huge improvement. Because the Multiverse stuff was cool because they gave us a lot of unique selection, but the figures sometimes weren't the best. They didn't have the best articulation.
Yeah, that's right. You have to pick and choose for the looks. For the articulation, is like second for that. But now they have like the perfect marriage with this line. I hope they can like standardize that for the product they choose to do like from now on, because this line is for $20. This is great.
Yeah, great deal. Awesome.
Who does Jurassic Park Legacy or
Hasbro, right?
Collection? Hasbro? Oh, I thought it was Mattel.
Yeah, no, I think it's Hasbro.
I know they do the 3.75 inch figures.
Oh, because that Jeff Goldblum big ass figure.
Yeah,
I just wish their articulation was better.
I might be wrong, but I think it's Hasbro. Well, it could be Mattel. I could be wrong. Yeah,
I'm not sure either.
My kid, I just get them when they're on sale for him, and I'm like, man, these figures could be better.
Oh, and then you want to hook up everybody with Raptors.
Yeah, Marvel Legends.
Greatest line. I want to say great, but I think it's the greatest line today.
Yeah. definitely
Yeah, no,
pulling me back in.
I'm not a, I'm yeah, me too. Like I have like a few comments on my channel, like, "Oh, Marvel Legend finally got you." No, they got me because early on, like I had to choose between doing videos. I always like try to do all of the figures I get, but sometimes I can't. I
Yeah.
left out the figures. I know there's options out there, and probably the Marvel Legends gave the shaft or the end sort of the short end of the stick because there's a lot of guys doing Marvel Legends,
Right.
and people think like I hate Marvel Legends. So when I do like a series of 3 or 4 videos of Marvel Legends in 1 month, they say like, "Oh, they got you." No, they are good,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I can't do them all. It's because
Yeah.
they are putting too much product out there for everybody. They're doing
Right.
movies, TV show, comics, so you can compete with that.
Yeah.
But-
I
and
was
when you
ready to
say,
sell all
you
my
know,
legends.
yeah, when you say greatest lines, I mean, it's in the name. It's legendary. It's one of the most well-recognized lines
Yeah.
in
Yeah, for
toy
sure.
collecting.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody knows what Marvel Legends is. So
Yeah.
they've definitely established a name. I'm like you. I mean, people ask me like, do you not really collect Marvel Legends? And I don't collect them a lot, but it's not because I don't like them. It's just I can't keep up with the distribution. But man, that's one of those lines that you saw when I very first started collecting. I mean, I think that's what Prime started with was the Legends. So
And I mean, look at that. It's a 20-year line
Yeah.
going strong.
Yeah.
You know, yes, it started with Toy Biz, but now look where it's at now.
it's a
And
legendary line.
Yeah.
it's like you say before, like it has become like the standard for the 6-inch figure.
Yeah.
It's not probably 1/12, but everybody
Right.
thinks that's the scale. I don't.
Right.
Nobody cares about the actual measurement of the
No.
person
Yeah.
of the actor or anything. They
Nope.
care if they are Marvel Legend size. So
Yeah, they
that,
don't even say
that
112. They're like, is it Legend size?
yeah, Legend
Yeah.
scale. So that should tell you how huge this line is.
Yeah,
Even
it's
even if
massive.
you collect, even if you don't collect them of you're not big too into it, you have to see that and see for what it is.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yep.
X
Super 7.
niche. It's for a
Yeah,
niche.
definitely.
Yeah, it's a niche brand. I can't buy everything they put out. I think nobody
Mhm.
can because they are 45, $50 a piece, and that's hard to swallow. But that should be interesting. Like they're doing things like nobody's doing now. So they're feeling that niche, that one GI Joe from the comic
Right.
series, that one Thundercats that may not move like a Yamaguchi, but it looks
Yeah.
like the comic. Like the when I say comic, I mean like
Yeah. Yeah.
series,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they are doing like they are hitting that spot that nobody's hitting right now.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm getting like everything I like from them. I'm not getting all, but I'm getting like the things like scratching my itch because I
Yeah.
got I when Mattel stopped doing that Master of the Universe line, they were doing like they were exactly like what's in the cartoon. They pick it up, so they got me there. They got me with those like 3 or 4 waves they did from the Master of the Universe Club Grayskull that the figures actually looked like they looked in the show. I was 30 years waiting for those lines. So Mattel did like 6 figures and we're done. So I couldn't believe it when
Right.
they picked up something because I started as a kid collecting or playing with Master of the Universe, and one of the things I recall saying that why this look like Ducks in the TV because
Yep.
it's not.
Yeah.
So they did it, and they got me there, and I keep doing the Thundercat line. I'm not getting all GI Joes. I'm getting a few, but I
Yeah.
recognize that that's the stripe they're going for.
Yeah.
Same with the turtles. So yeah, they're 45 piece, bucks for a piece, but because they don't show up in stores, they don't have support from other brands or distribution. I
Right.
get that, but I can't buy them because of that. I can buy them all. I buy the ones I feel like I need.
Yeah.
You know?
And right now, all the stuff that they're doing, like they're doing Simpsons, which is like that
Yeah.
one's really tempted me to pick up a couple
Yeah,
of key
me
characters,
too.
right? But there's
I
one
got
line
Mo.
like right.
I got
Oh,
Mo.
you got Mo. Yeah, Mo. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Mo.
For
But
sure.
as I was hearing you like talk about how they're doing niche and they're right out of the comic, it reminds me. So I'm picking up their Thundercats. I got the Thunder Tech on the way. I'm picking up their Silverhawks. and to the turtles, just the core, the 4 turtles and a couple key characters.
Yeah.
But if they pick up this cartoon that I used to watch in the 80s, the Visionaries, it was these guys with the armor and they had the holographic on their chest. If they do the Visionaries, that would be
those were like armor guys, like one yellow, blue, green. I know where they're. Yeah.
And
one has like a mustache, right?
Yeah, and one had like the guy with the mustache had a lion on his chest. He was like Leo or something, and so they would thing would be like they would turn into
all matte colors popping up bright. Oh man.
Yeah. And I can see Super 7. I can see Super 7 doing like, hey, Mezco's giving us Dick Tracy. Super 7, give me the Visionaries. Like, hey,
I totally see that happening.
That's
especially with what they've done already.
Yeah, with all those accessories, that'd be perfect.
That'd be amazing.
Damn it. Or don't do it. I can't get
Damn it. I don't need to do that. No, don't do it. Don't do that. I can't afford that. No, did you get like the sleeve? The Super 7 sleeve they did for Thundercat?
I didn't. I only got Munra.
Dude, get that. Get it. Get it now. That's
okay.
That's like the best figure they have
done. Yeah, because then I'll have to get Jackal.
So far.
I have to get Jackal. I have to get Monkey. I have to get all the mutants.
Just do it.
I don't care if you get
Vulture. Are they doing the Vulture guy?
Not yet. They haven't showed that yet. No. But get us.
I get Slide. I have to get all of them.
Well, okay, get him, but get that Slide first. Get that Slide first because, dude, it's great. It looks like incredibly great.
Does.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Yeah,
I got Mumra on the way, so
get that
I got
Slide.
all the Thundercats. I got all the Thundercats and Mumra, and I'm like,
no,
okay,
come on, man.
Oh,
come on.
All right, next one, Star Wars Black Series.
Roller coaster. It's a roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
Got some dewbacks back there. I can see.
Yeah. I love those think they're great.
Dewbacks are my favorite.
Yeah,
I think that they have like turned into these things like I didn't expect them to. Like they are now doing beautiful figures with less articulation. So I can't say I'm not pleased because some figures from the Mandalorian, for example, I love those figures. Their Bo-Katan is great, but they used to do like double joint elbows and knees. Now are doing to singles. They look good, but they look too restrictive. I don't know, man. It's a good line.
Yeah,
it's not Marvel Legend lines, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I dig that figure, but it's confusing sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
I wish they kept like the good articulation they had, and then on top of that, improve on the looks, not sacrifice the articulation because I think they could do both. So I don't know.
Yeah, that man. I mean, so many army builders that they put out. That's really tempting to me as an army builder, and I love to army build. But I'm seeing it. I'm like, I can't get all those.
No,
different types of troopers.
And now that we don't have SHF pumping like Star Wars figures like in a year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We kind of need them to be better. I don't know if they're aware. We need them to get better, but they are, at least they are there because I've been a Star Wars fan since I was a kid. And when I say Star Wars, I mean the 3 movies because in the 80s that was all Star Wars was.
Right.
And I have never had a Star Wars figures until the Black Series because because as a kid they didn't show up in my country.
Okay.
And then when I started collecting, I didn't collect 3 3/4. So I spent like 4 years, 3 or 4 years, like collecting anything and resisting those 3 3/4 until they came up with the Black Series. And right there, like Rebel Tech got Star Wars, SHF got Star Wars, but the first one I had was Black Series. So for me, it was like the classified series from B.I. Joe. Like I was waiting for this from a long time.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's here now. Let's see what they're gonna do. I don't know, man. I think they are in for the long run. So let's see what they can do later on. I don't know.
Yeah. Next one, Nota Studio.
They are great.
Yeah.
Just great. They are like they are. I don't know, man. They are the sculptor. The head sculpts they do are for one of my favorites. Like them
Yeah.
and the Manipul. Like I'm talking custom head sculpt because
Right.
I'm not gonna compare a 40 bucks head sculpt I buy from them or Manipul from the one a stock figure has, because mass produced it's
Yeah.
like the half of the cost of the figure.
Right.
But those head sculpt, the figures are great, but the head sculpts are like unparalleled to none. But maybe Manipul. But I consider like, but yeah, they are
Yeah.
like the future. For me, for niche characters, they are like the future. Future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
They
one
will
of
have,
your
they will
most
have
recent
like the,
videos is sorry.
yeah, they will have like the definitive character from each like line they decide to do for the collector that wants that definitive character. Like for nobody stopping this Wolverine in like for no anywhere. No, nobody.
Mhm.
Nobody. It could pass like 10 years and nobody will do this slogan like move like that figure, like looks like that figure. I don't think it will. And whenever they do a Joker, somebody like is gonna think that's the perfect Joker, and that's
Oh yeah.
gonna happen for every figure they put. Like they don't put that many figures a year because they are third party, but they are
Yeah.
like perfection. They're not gonna
Oh
give
yeah.
you an entire like Avengers roster, but they could give you the perfect Captain America. So
Right.
they are like not for regular collectors. They are for hardcore fan collectors of the property they are tackling on. So
Yeah. Nate, do you have any Notice Studio?
I don't think I do actually.
No. It's.
No.
I was blown away by the head sculpt. It's crazy. Like looking at the Logan limo driver. Like just
No.
I was like, is he freaking alive? Because the way the eyes
yeah.
kind of
And
it freaks you out a little bit. I'm like, whoa, what the like?
Believe me,
the
if I
hell?
had a chance to get that limo driver or the one that Plasti was just showing us, I would get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's one of those like back when I wasn't sure about third party.
And I think you can't appreciate it until you have it in hand, because I knew it was a good
Yeah.
figure, and like Plasti was telling me to
Yeah.
get the other Logan one, and I was just like, oh yeah, and then I tried looking for it, and the price was just going up, and I missed the train. So when I got the chance to get the limo, I was like, okay, I was pumped. Still missed it, and I got hooked up by somebody on the Tuesday crew where they're like, hey, I got a second one, and sent it over. But once I had it in my hand, I was like man, it blew my socks away. I was like, god damn, this figure is really really good. Like it's crazy how
Yeah.
good it is.
Nate, you heard like people saying like Mezco is the 112 Hot Toys. Well, no, this is 112 Hot Toys.
It looks
Yeah.
like it. I mean,
It's crazy good.
amazing quality.
Yeah.
One, I ordered it because I think, okay, this look great. This
Yeah.
is not gonna move at all, but it's great. But when I had this in hand, and I think,
Yeah.
okay, this guy can do this with these
Yeah.
tight pants.
Yeah.
Wait, dude, I can't do this with this pants so
Yeah,
tight.
I can't do
that.
it personally. Yeah.
And watch this.
It's impressive, especially for third party too.
Yeah.
Man. So I did have like experience with this brand before because I have like 2 or 3 years buying head sculpts. They say only the head sculpts, you know. So I have like buy for Tony Stark, for Captain America, Figure Arts. I bought like I don't know 6 head sculpt. They usually did only the head. They sold them on eBay. And then when they put like the whole figure, okay, I need to get it. Only for the head sculpt that nobody's gonna do this better. And when I got it in hand, it was like I don't know, almost flawless. The only thing that gives this away, like a toy in a photograph, well done, like Nate could do or anyone else, is the wrist joints. If you could like,
Oh yeah.
This, if you like, I don't know, block this or put anything like they won't show. This could pass like a actual regular.
Oh yeah, like a seamless body. Yeah, just the wrist.
Yeah.
Because the cut.
Yeah. So I think it's a future for specific collectors.
Yeah. See Nate?
Like
you gotta jump on the boat, man. Hype train.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely more.
When they do a
intrigued to
Batman
it.
or something, or the
I'll be
Joker.
there. See,
yeah.
Plasti knows how to get me in.
Yeah.
Batman. I'm there.
Yeah. You have to take a chance.
Yeah, I will.
All right,
time.
next one. Look at that. Mezco.
Let's go.
Love, man. It's pure love.
Yeah, it's pure love for Plasti.
And I'm not saying like I like in the sense like I love that brand. No, which I do, because I think that each figure has love on it.
Yeah.
Most people talk Mezco like, oh, the soft goods, the articulation, the range, the head. looks or it's soft. I don't know. But when you look like the details on the clothing, like the accessories, like the moving parts of the accessories, like the team that designed that when like hard hours doing it, and they did it with fun because you have like moving parts on pistols, like magazine clips that you will never take off, but you have the option to do that. And that costs because that could be a solid gun, but it has like 3 parts. So the guy that designed that was made wanted it to you to have fun with it. So for me, that's love of the craftsman.
Oh yeah.
You don't see that in other brands that cost like the same, but you see them Mezco, and it's like those kind of details like nobody talks about them because they are small, but the love is in the details for me.
Yep, me too. That's
when any brand of figure like sculpt the sole of the feet, like you say, oh, the guy loved I say that mostly with all of the figures that I received from me, because when you open that box, you get a lot of stuff like you weren't planning to see in a regular figure. So for me, it's like a debate I have sometimes. Like, no, Mayfix worth almost the same as cost the same as a Mezco. Is better. Okay, I don't know. Sometimes I don't get what I pay in a Mayfix figure or opposite of what I do with the Mezco, because when I open the box, I get my money's worth 9 times out of 10. So you can compete with that.
That's one of those lines I was a casual collector before I kind of discovered, and then it really made me a hardcore collector. And it actually, kind of intrigued me to want to get into toy photography just because I appreciated the sculpt and the quality so much. It's like, wow, I have to have more of these. Just like the love, like you said, it just really created a love for action figures. Just being able to appreciate that.
Yeah, check this out. When I used to live in the old apartment, I have all my toys displayed on the living room, right?
Yeah.
And right before the door, I had like details, and in the corner I have like a small diorama of the rooftop, and I have one of the Dark Knight shooting. So I put it there because I said this figure is the figures I want to see. When I opened the door, when I came in the house, and the last thing I see when I get out, I want to see that fucking Batman with the rifle, no? So one day the gas company sent a worker to do a routine check, because periodically, annually, I don't know, they have to check the valves are good. I don't know, they're leaking gas or something.
Yeah.
And right before they have like a whole living room full of figures. All brands. You have Figuarts, Mattel, you have Mayfix, you have all brands I collect there. It was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
For collectibles, all those kind of awesome figures. And right before he left, when I'm filling my sign on the report, he was asking me before, like, oh, that Robocop, that the things like he grew up, that Predator, that He-Man, anything. But right before he left, he needed to touch that Dark Knight. He wanted to know what it was made of. He was like, what is this made of? And dude, I almost pushed that guy over the because
you're like, don't you fucking touch him.
Don't touch that Batman, man. But to me, it was like, okay, this guy knows nothing about collecting. This guy can appreciate like where they come from, because he watched like the same cartoons I did, the same movies. And the figure that stand out the most for him was that Batman. He didn't touch any of the other figures. He touched that because that was like the figure amazed him the most. So when I thought that, okay, I maybe have that same impulse if I was in this place, but fuck you. You shouldn't do that.
Don't touch my shit.
Plus, it's like after I helped him get back up, I told him, "Hey, get your fucking."
Don't touch it. Don't touch my Mezco because you're gonna get it dirty, and don't touch the Mafia because you're gonna break it.
Oh man, it's a good story. G.I. Joe Classified.
New love.
Oh, it's the new addiction.
They got me because, like I say, my first toys were that I played on, and I remember like it was the Master of the Universe. That was my first passion,
Yeah.
Then when that fed away because the cartoon or the toys line like ended up, on my country, I got into GI Joe, and I got real hard. I got because they were sold in a store near by my house. So when my mom and I came from doing our errands, we stopped there, and I wanted the new figure. That I want to run and see if they got any new one.
Yeah.
And that line for me meant like a lot that I can see now in me as a collector, because that was the first line I could pop the screw up and mismatch the pants
Oh,
with
yeah.
other torsos, or changing their heads or their weapons. So that got me like a lot of curious about my toys, because I could play with them in the way I want them to, So I miss them a lot. I didn't know how much I miss them until I get this line of classified series, because, like I said, I didn't want it as an adult collector. One of the first thing I said the line was no vintage stuff, because they meant so much to me, but I don't like display them. I don't like how they look now. I'm gonna be honest. I loved them back then, but now they look clunky. They don't look good for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna get those because of sentiments, because I know at the end I'm gonna get a lot of figures I don't like to watch, and I wanna buy other figures like new ones because I do like them. So no vintage for me. When that line came out, even with the looks like not so much classic, man, I got in like, yeah. I'm all in now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I didn't know how much I missed them.
Yeah, they're sucking in Nate now too. He's coming back to the Joe line.
I know.
For me,
I used to talk smack. I'm getting
yeah.
back
If this line could like last 10 years, 20 years, it could be better than Marvel Legend now. Like Marvel Legend is now. I don't know what Marvel Legend is going to do in the future, but this has potential for vehicles. They has potential right now for a lot of characters, and Hasbro owns their IP, so they could do like a lot of things with it with the same price. Right now, they have like the better articulation for me for a Hasbro figure in 2022. So I think it's like the perfect marriage. And something I like is like they are not keeping the line for themselves. Another guys like Super 7 are doing their thing now. Mezco.
Right.
So yeah, classified series going hard because they are $20.
Yeah.
I want to get some Mezco, but I'm gonna get all classified.
Oh yeah. It's exciting now, especially they're trying to do more and more characters. So I love it.
Yeah, when they do a Jeep, man, I have to do that.
Yep.
They are doing bikes, so baby steps.
Yeah, exactly.
soon enough.
Transformers.
Not for me.
Not for you?
No. I like the cartoons back in the 80s, but I don't like the toys because I don't know. That's one line I don't appreciate, like the action figure looking like the toy, because at the end of the day, it's like a toy robot. It's not gonna look that real like it should, because I don't know. A 16 soldier is a 16 soldier, but a robot, a car.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I think
he was like, it has to be in
Transformers,
scale. It can't be in scale, right? He was. Oh, here.
There we go.
All right, let's bring him back in here.
Okay, I was saying like a robot on a car has the potential to look real because of the thing they are made of. A robot should look like metal, not plastic. So looking plastic, I don't care that much for it because it's not my style. I have a couple from 3A from the design of the movie Bumblebee because they touched like the right spot. They look like the toys I had as a kid, or the cartoon I had as a kid, but they look real. So I had the Bumblebee and the Optimus Prime 3A for the Bumblebee movie because they look great. They look like I don't know. They look like a machine, like a real machine. Yeah. And they are the exact design. So I'm very picky about my Transformer.
I think what Plastiamigos is he wants his Transformers die-cast metal.
Well, not
Transformers.
And transform. No, I'm just messing with you.
I want them to look like they were die-cast because actually I hate die-cast toys. I don't like die-cast
damn it,
toys.
Plasti, I can't win with you.
Nah, man. I had like this Comic Cave Studio Iron Man.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
they did for the Iron Man 3 movies,
Yep.
and they look awesome, but all die or 75% diecast
Yeah.
is a mess, man. They
Really.
weigh too heavy. They weigh too balance. It's hard to balance. The joints get loose over time. If they
Oh,
fall in the floor, like they
yeah.
get
That's
dents
it.
easily,
Oh,
scratched easily. They get parts flying out. So I rather have my SH figures all plastic except the fits.
yeah.
I'm good
Okay.
with that. Yeah,
Mafex.
overpriced.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're getting
Yeah,
pricey lately.
They are very expensive, especially if you get them from like BBTS. You're talking about $104, and you brought up a point earlier, like Mezco, Mafex,
Yeah.
very similar price. But
exactly.
I like Mafex. I don't dislike Mafex, but
Yeah.
I feel like I get more for my money with Mezco a lot of the
Exactly.
times.
That
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
that's my point. I don't dislike their figures even if so even with having figures break on me like
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 figures. Um, I have a lot of Mayfix. I've been a Mayfix guy since the Dark Knight Returns, like the Dark Knight they first made, the zero
Mm.
oh two I think was
Yeah.
the second figure they made, and I have pretty much all of the Batman from that movie except the Bruce Wayne. And I have a lot of DC and Justice League, BBS, everything they put out. But I don't know. They should be, in my opinion, for what I see in the box and I get in the hand, like $20 cheaper, or step
Yeah.
up their game in their paint department or the plastic selection and the design. Because for me, Mayfix, the strong point of Mayfix is their sculptor. The
Right.
sculpts are on point, are great. I'm not gonna cut their human faces because that's a tough one for every company. I'm gonna say
Right.
like the detail on the figure, the proportions, like the everything they do on point since day one. They have like the best sculptors for me in 112. Like nobody
Yeah.
beats them. But
Yeah.
first, like the first half of the Mayfix history was QC issues, like breaking
Yeah.
joints.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Ball joints on the hands like break easily, or they get all fast and toasted and break the elbows. Okay, they fixed that, but then now like they have like design problems, like the arms are popping up easily,
Right.
or the torso. But my biggest complaint with the line is the engineer in the part designs. They don't do a great paint job. I mean, when you have like a leg and the boot is painted, that separation line is not gonna be crisp in no figure. They
Yeah.
can't do that. They are proving like they can do a clean line in the separation between colors.
Yeah.
And that for me is unacceptable. Okay, they
Yeah.
can do that, but one thing they can do is do separate pieces. Do the boot of the figure of what the color plastic it is, and then the rest of the leg. Because 90 other figures that I get from any other toy lines that cost even less than you are charging me for, do that. They can be done. It can be done. They don't
Right.
do it, and for me, that's chipping out. That's chipping out on a $90 box. I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even then, only in my opinion, like the Marvel brand figures get good accessories, like a plenty accessory. The DC line is like getting the shaft, man. They get like two hands, one head, and one button, or I don't know, something like that. So when I see the Dark Knight Returns figures that are pumping out, I love those figures. They look great. When I see what I paid for, I think this toy is overpriced.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I get that
Yeah.
Yeah.
feeling, with most of the releases they do. The Superman they did for Hush is a great figure. It's not perfect either. They have that problem with the paint on the boot. They have another the color of the S is, for me, it should be different. Okay, it's all good. It's not perfect, but
Yeah.
that figure shouldn't be $90. That would be like
Yeah.
70, in my opinion. I'm not
Yeah.
saying licensing issues. I'm not saying anything. I think want to get in the box because I compare it with, for example, I'm not gonna be obnoxious, but Mezco. Mezco has that license also, and they do like the same scale. And I think when I open a Batman in the box from Mezco, he has a lot of kind of accessory. He has like three heads. He has a bunch of hands. He has a lot of things. Now he has like two capes, a bunch of lot of things. And when I opened the Memphis one, I get like 2 hands, 1 head, and 1 Batarang. I don't know, man. So whatever I do the math, they don't add up in Mayfake favor. So yeah, they have some great figures like the Peter B. Parker, which has an horrible paint job. Okay, that's but they have a lot of great accessories. So that for me is okay. This is worth the money I'm paying for. Even though it's
Yeah.
not perfect, I see enough plastic in the box, enough articulation, soft good that $90 I see them in here. But they are not like bad figures itself. They are for me overpriced. That's what I say, overpriced to begin with.
Mhm. I hear you. NECA.
I wish they were 6 inch. The NECA is like, for in my opinion, for 2015 to let's say now, from 2015 to now, they are like the best bang for your buck brand putting figures out there.
Yeah.
No one can beat them. No, they had like a QCH huge back then, but like they stepped up their games, and
Oh
they still
yeah, for
have them.
sure.
They still have them here and there, but they are pumping like great scopes, great likeness, like better than most of the overpriced companies or higher priced companies. They are doing that ultimate line with good accessories. So they
Oh
are
yeah.
doing movie lines, series line, cartoon lines. They are doing anything, everything, everywhere. They are popping figures all year round. So yeah,
Yeah.
they are killing
Doing a
it.
good job.
NECA is killing it right there, right now.
All right, last one. Let's see. It's our boy Toddy Mac.
Oh man, why
Uh-oh.
do we have to end with this? I don't like this figure.
Oh, here we go. Plastic beef.
Nah, I don't like the
Oh
figure.
man,
For me, these are cheap figures.
Yeah.
it's far and few between for me that I
Yeah,
actually find a figure that I
is
like.
is the opposite of NECA. I think they are like hitting that Marvel Legend market with more plastic and stuff for the line, for DC line, because of the price range, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm.
for the scale and the market they could have, I wish they increase their price $10 more and match NECA on their prices like 32 bucks, but like give more because they can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like do better
Do
plastic,
better.
better painting, better articulations. I don't know if
Way better
cut.
articulation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but make them softer. Make them. I don't know. They could do a better. I don't know, better product if they increase their price. But I know one of the main attractives of the line is the price tag. So I know it's not gonna happen. So for what they cost, I think they are good. But
Yeah.
I think like they are not good enough for me.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
I have a few, and they look good.
yeah.
But when I'm
Yeah.
going to move them, they are not fun. Most of them look ugly in some joints. I don't know. Some articulations are redundant or no or useful. So I don't know. It's like a ultra picky and choose when you gotta buy one of
Oh
those,
yeah.
and at the end, that figure could break on you. And
Yep.
yep.
I
For
usually
instance,
wait till I get them on sale.
Yeah, it's
for
one of those
instance,
figures I won't buy unless it's on sale.
yeah,
Like 10
exactly.
bucks or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that infected Superman they put out. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I got one of those from one of the sellers down here, and it
Yeah.
came with two left feet, two
Oh.
left feet, two left feet. So I contact them. I contact McFarlane. They say, okay, I had the figure. They had two left feet. I love the figure, but I live outside the US. Could you send the extra feet so I can change them to an address on the US? They said no. I didn't say I live outside the US. I say I have the issue. They say no. You have to go to Walmart and return them. I don't know why they assume I bought that at Walmart. So I said no. I live outside the US. I had to pay shipping from outside to get the figure, and it came with two feet, the left feet.
Yeah.
They said no. We don't care replacement. Dude, you made the figure. How come I'm buying the same like month it got released? How come you don't have another fit, an extra replacement part for the figures you produce. They don't own it. So what I end up doing was I ordered an extra because I was gonna do it anyway from Big Bad Toy Store, and I said, hey, I got this figure. You got 2 extra loose, okay? And say, okay, no, we'll ship you the figure for free. Okay, I got it. No, you store credit. I give you store credit. So at the end, I got like McFarlane, like indirectly, like give me my figure as it is.
Yeah.
But come on, man, I'm buying a figure from you.
Yeah.
That you produce. I'm buying you like the same year it came out, like 2 months apart from the release date, and you don't have parts. Come on, man. It's one tiny fit.
Just go to Walmart.
Yeah, just go home.
Yeah, that's readily available. That's great.
I'm gonna buy a plane ticket now. I'm gonna apply for a U.S. visa so they can let me in the country so I can go to Walmart and exchange a figure like that now costs like $10. Oh, come on, man.
And then they won't have it in store.
Yeah, probably. Or I don't know. I don't know, man. They have some figure that appeal to me because of the cult, but most of them it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. I think he could be his own enemy in some of the decisions he makes. And I don't know. It's cool. The folks that like those comics and all those Batman had an option out there, but I would like to see what he's gonna do next. No, he can't do Batman forever.
No,
he could do the one for the movie, right? But he could do Batman all the time. I don't know. It's a good choice, but I need one brand to get my $20 6-inch DC figures like we had like Legends with Marvel Legends.
Yep.
You know, I miss my DC icons. I miss what DC did like 4 years ago. Because we don't have that now. We have Todd McFarlane, we have Mayfix, and we have Mezco, and none of those do like DC Icon did. So, like we have Marvels or Joe's making by anybody for every taste. I need DC. I need a $20 or $22 DC line for 6-inch collectors. I need that, and McFarlane isn't it. So,
awesome. Well, thanks for playing. That was our Dirty Dozen. We'll send you the toaster. I think everybody gets a toaster.
Good feedback from the Plastic Addict himself. So we appreciate your feedback there, Plasti.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And we just appreciate you coming on today, man. It's like I said, you've been a longtime friend. We've talked in DMs before, but never face to face. So it's really good to see you and be able to talk to you. And just we appreciate all your support to the podcast. You share it. I think every single week. I don't think you've missed a week yet where you're sharing our new episode and putting it in your story. So we just really appreciate you, Plasti. I wanted to tell you that in person over this live here, man. I'm a big fan of what you do, and I'm glad that you're a fan of what we do too.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of what you do, guys. Now I have like a trouble catching you on Monday Live because in fact, most of the live I'm like watching, I'm doing in the repeat because. I have to do content for my channel, and when I watch you guys live,
what? You have other life? You have something outside? No,
talk about
man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but like when I watch you guys, or I watch like Kevin on the Tuesday, or Wade or Plastiamigos. I used to do like everyday show. Dude, most of the time I put my tablet here and doing my review while you were on, and I couldn't do work. I couldn't get work done because I want to get in the chat. So it's like, okay, I need to do YouTube, and the next day I rewatch everything live because I can't do it, man. But I'm a huge fan of this project of yours. When you had only the podcast, it was easy for me because I popped that a regular basis. Now I want to watch you live and the chat and everything because there's always great guys approaching, getting around to your content or the guys I just mentioned because I'm fan of all of them. I'm fan of Kevin. I'm fan of the Plastiamigos. I'm fan of Wade. I also have to creation. And that group of people that come into your life or those guys' life are always in the right vibe. They want to talk toys, have fun. So it's like gathering with friends, you know?
Yeah.
Most of the time, most of the times you go like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, seeing those guys in those shows, you know, Joe's, then whatever, whoever doing the Tuesday, and Jay Hernandez on Wednesday, Plastiamigos, Wade, and is great, because we started talking toys, but we talk all kind of jokes and everything,
Oh, yeah.
no? So that kind of content is the content like I wish it would be more frequent everywhere, because my theory is like people watch garbage content because it's out there all of
Right.
the time.
Yeah.
And what I mean garbage content is like people hating on things. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever it is, sports,
Right.
toys,
Right.
movies, whatever. No, doing a rant or doing like hating something is like the easiest way to express something because you don't have to think. You don't only have to talk to your God. So people have that and consume that and choose that, and feeding people that is for me is I hate it because when I go out there and Facebook, it's all I see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, having your content available to watching whenever I want on a podcast is like a blessing in the sky because I'm gonna put on my earphones, watch your podcast or hear your podcast if I do it on Spotify, and
Yeah.
I could know I'm gonna hear a nice conversation about different topics. It doesn't have to be toys all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm doing. So that's what I
Yeah.
want, man. Life is too hard right now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
being hate, bring hate to things you love for me has no sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun is the only answer to the things you love. You love something, let's go have fun with it. I mean, sometimes we can joke in good spirit about something, calling it trash or whatever, but there's no hate about it. We still buy those things. We still love those things. We're not gonna talk trash just for the sake of talking trash because it's fun. So yeah, in this state of mind, like we are now with the pandemic and all, like getting guys like you popping content is like all we need. So thank you for you guys doing what you do every week, and especially, okay, all the guys I mentioned do a good job on what they do. For me,
Yeah.
what you do is the selection of the topics when you do like the Sunday your podcast,
Yeah. Yeah.
the show, because our regular days topics mix it with toys that sometimes it like brings a light of something that I haven't thought of or something I've been thought about, but here another perspective is always welcome. And you always
Awesome.
do it like with a good spirit. So
Yeah.
it's gold, man. It's gold. So you
Thank
have
you.
my support
Appreciate it.
always.
Thank you for that, Plasti. Appreciate you, man.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Plasti. So in closing, we just wanted to thank you. Thanks for taking the time.
Always.
We're gonna send you out to the green room while we close out. Hang tight, and then we'll get you your details so we can send your toaster out to you.
Sure
for
thing,
joining
man.
us, Plasti.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Had a great time. Thank you.
Man, what a great conversation
awesome.
with Plasti. We learned so much. I hope our listeners, whether you're listening to it on the podcast or watching it, I hope you got a lot to walk away with and gain some great insight on Plasti and the time he takes. And he's out there. I'm telling you guys. You guys type in his name 3 times in the chat, he'll appear. You guys will see him in the stream. He's there 24/7, always watching. He's Overwatch.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
One of the most active guys in the community and one of the most supportive. So please go support him too. Go check out his YouTube channel, Plasti Adicto, on YouTube, or check out his podcast, Plastiamigos, live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, just go support him because he will definitely support you back.
Yep. And a quick plug, make sure to check out thefigurebooth.com. We got our shirts up there. 2 of the shirts designed by fellow toy collectors and community members out there. Also, there's some Prime Arcade apparel too if you feel inclined to support. More than happy, and we appreciate that. Make sure you comment, subscribe, like, click the bell, get those notifications. Yeah, good stuff. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all under Prime to the First.
And you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and sometimes Facebook at figurefan_Nate. And thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. You guys have been listening to The Figure Booth.